It was particularly important for me to be able to thank Moshe face to face for saving my life. And it was very moving to watch my then 16-year-old son thank Moshe for saving his mother's life. Hi, my name is Libby, and I'm speaking to you today from Vancouver, Canada. In 2007, I was diagnosed with an aggressive blood cancer called acute myeloid leukemia. With intensive chemotherapy, I was able to get into a remission, but it was short-lived. My disease came back 10 months later. At that point, my only hope for survival was a stem cell transplant. Without siblings of my own, my team had to appeal to national and international donor registries to find me a suitable match. Fortunately for me, they did find a perfect match, and I had an unrelated stem cell transplant in November of 2008. It turned out that my donor, much to my surprise, was a young Israeli named Moshe. I learned about his identity almost 4 years after my transplant. Initially, we communicated with the help of a translator with a series of emails. I very quickly learned that he's a very compassionate young man who really believes that if there's an opportunity to help someone, we should help. In the summer of 2013, I and my husband and my son traveled to Israel, and it was just an amazing experience getting to meet Moshe in person and his parents and members of his family. We first met on the same kibbutz where Moshe was born and raised and where his parents still lived. All I can say is that it was one of the most memorable experiences of my life. They treated us like we were celebrities, when in fact, they were the folks who required celebration. With the help of a neighbor who was fluent in both English and Hebrew, we shared a meal and we talked about our ancestors, our jobs, our interests, our families. We talked about everything. It was particularly important for me to be able to thank Moshe face to face for saving my life. And it was very moving to watch my then 16-year-old son thank Moshe for saving his mother's life. Moshe and I are forever connected, and our families are forever connected. We're not exactly family, but we're much, much more than friends. The donation has really created a new set of precious relationships that I don't believe we have a word for, at least in English, to capture. I guess my message to the world is, if you are eligible to be on the donor registry, please do so. It is a simple cheek swab, and you may one day have the privilege of saving someone's life. You know, there is a Talmudic religious text saying that goes something like, and whoever saves a life, it is as if he or she has saved the whole world. I was given a second lease on life because Moshe was on the donor registry. And, you know, rather than have to leave a young son motherless, I have instead been able to watch my son mature into a warm, genuine, and loving young man who has followed Moshe's footsteps and who himself is on the donor registry. Please join my son on the registry and help save future lives. As a final note, I will just say that Israel itself really is a model of how to promote awareness and registration on the stem cell registry. Every young adult essentially is given the opportunity to do a cheek swab and be registered. I understand, and I could be wrong on this, but I understand that there are close to 1 million names on the donor registry in Israel alone. And for those of you who are Jewish, um, the community shares very many genetic characteristics, so that if you are a Jewish person and you require a stem cell transplant, the chances are that your match will be found in another Jewish person from anywhere in the world. So, everybody, please consider getting on the registry.